It's been 5 years of bullshit. 5 years of people making fake profiles and pretending they're going to help me. Most recent one is Daniel Apathy. Well, he's not the most recent one. He's one of the ones that helped out a lot, but that's not his real name. I don't know if that's his real picture. I made a missing persons post about him because he was missing. Since then, he unfriended me, didn't message me or nothing. For months and months and months, he was unaccounted for and not replying, not seeing nothing. We didn't have an argument. We didn't have a fight. We didn't have nothing of that sort. But he's not friends with me, so now he doesn't see any of my messages anyway. It's strange that he would unfriend me rather than get a hold of me. Of course, I'm used to that. I'm used to people throwing me away. I'm also used to those people later on when I run into them saying, "Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't do that, Sean." There's a big difference between the people in Boulder who said those things and Daniel Apathy. I'm not likely to run into Daniel Apathy. He lives in Scotland. I'm not likely to run into people in Boulder either, though, because I don't go to Boulder. Safety issues. See, I didn't need a bunch of people telling me what to do and what to think and how to feel. What I needed was help turning in my predators because when you were called mentally ill, you have to have someone who is there in your corner. I don't mean someone who's going to go in and just sit there and look stupid. Now, there were people that went in with me that didn't know what the hell was going on. Meanwhile, those who did know what was going on wanted to ignore it, look the other way. Now, there's a guy called Rob Gavagan. He's got a pretty popular site. And of course, he sold the same bullshit as everyone else. And then, when I sent him evidence that it was bullshit, he said he was going to say something. He never did he? No, of course he didn't. I don't matter. I'm not popular. I won't increase his ratings. Well, if he told the truth, it certainly would. It would break the story wide open. But he didn't tell the story to break it wide open, did he? He did it for your entertainment. I'm not doing any of this for entertainment. I'm not doing it for profit. It costs me money to fight this, but it also costs me money not to. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. People are allowed to threaten me. They're allowed to harass me. They're allowed to assault me. They're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want to me because I was never allowed to defend myself in court. I had a lot of people who were gung-ho about helping me until it turned out they actually had to do something. And then, whew, I tell you, they sure as hell freaked the fuck out. What is unplugging and plugging in there? So, what I'm doing right now is cleaning out the garbage in my vehicle. They got stuff all over the garbage cans here, same as anywhere else. No illegal dumping. If you're homeless, you're not allowed to use the garbage cans. So don't. Just save your trash. And when you have enough for gas, dump one or two of these bags of garbage off at the gas station. I've traveled from one end of the country to the other for help. And a lot of people that offered to help me turned out they were on alcohol and drugs. Well, that's not help. How are you going to help me if you're busy getting high? How are you going to help me if you have drank so much that your brain is getting almost no oxygen? How are you going to help me? You're not. You're going to waste my time is what you're going to do. And then you're going to throw a fucking tantrum at me when I'm pissed off that you wasted my fucking time. You should try telling the truth to begin with. A lot of people told me things that later on they wanted to throw a tantrum because I repeated them. Well, I didn't just repeat them, I recorded them and posted them in their words. Their words. You're damn right they're unhappy about that, but at least it's the fucking truth. Something that I cannot say for Rob Gavagan. Rob didn't care if what he was saying was the truth or not. Still doesn't. I sent him evidence that what he was selling was untrue. He said he'd look at it and get back to me. See, that's something that a lot of people don't want to pay any attention to. This is a very complicated situation, compounded by the fact that I am completely alone. Sending me a few dollars here and there, well, I'm grateful for it. I'm not ungrateful for that. But at the same time, it's not helping me get an honest court date. It's not sharing my story. And that's what I needed from the start, is somebody to actually care about what was going on enough to actually do something about it. Because I'm not allowed. When you're called mentally ill, you're not allowed to do any of these things that you people keep telling me to do. You need help to do those things because you will not be allowed to do them on your own. And that's the problem with most of you. It's not happening to you, so it's fine. You can tell me pretty things like I should just let it go. Meanwhile, I'm not allowed to let it go. I am not in a part of my life where I can let it go. It has destroyed every aspect of my life. Meanwhile, those who claimed to be my friends before Natalie died showed right afterwards that they are not my friends. They care about what other people think. These people who say you shouldn't care what other people think, all of them care what other people think. So they're being hypocrites. A lot of people want to accuse me of being a hypocrite because I did some of these things, some of them back. That does not make me a hypocrite. It proves a point. If these things are not illegal for people to do them to me, but it's somehow magically illegal if I do them, then it's either A, not illegal for me, or B, it is illegal for them and someone should have done something about it. But you see how I make all these calls and these people procrastinate and drag their goddamn feet until it doesn't do any fucking good, just like they did with housing, just like they did with the courts. Yeah, sure, we'll get back to you the day before fucking court to have you call somebody that you've already called. What a bunch of fucking pieces of shit. And there's these people who want to say, oh, Sean, we've been friends for 20 years. No, we haven't been friends for 20 years. We may have known each other for 20 years, but in the last 20 years, what have you done to speak up? What have you done to protect my rights as a human being? Not a goddamn thing. How many of you spoke up in court? How many of you went in with me to make a police report? Oh, yeah. Not a single one. Not one of my supposed friends ever went in with me to make a police report. The one person who can pretend that she did, Laura Nelson, didn't make a police report. She tried to hide it. See, one thing that you guys want to ignore when you say those pretty fucking words is that they are just pretty words. People are dead, all right? People are dead. Dual County Sheriff's Department didn't want to do their job. Boulder Police Department didn't want to do their job. None of these people wanted to do their jobs. Now, for an entire year before Natalie Bollinger was killed, I tried to get help. Did my supposed friends ever admit that I went to them for help? Well, yeah, they did. But I had to record them way after the fact. They had plenty of opportunity to come forward and tell the truth and be decent excuses for human beings, to actually show that they actually care. Don't tell me that you love me if you're just going to look the other way. It's not right. There's a lady here named Rebecca Foley. She was living in Portland and she's missing. She was trying to turn in her predators. Now she's missing. God, that is a nasty cigarette. There was a lady who was kind enough to send me $85. That allowed me to get some coffee at the local Starbucks. It allowed me to put some gas in my vehicle so I can actually travel. It allowed me to get my phone turned back on. So now I can use my phone to make calls. But the things that I need to do and the things that I need to take care of, I need a safe environment where I can do it. Chapel is not a safe environment. Matter of fact, nowhere in Nebraska is safe. Nowhere in the United States is safe. See, that's one of the things about the police breaking the law the way that they did. It's expensive to be falsely accused. When you're locked up, they take away all of your resources. They take away your disability money. They take away your medical insurance. They take away your everything. And then we end up with people who want to make suggestions but don't want to actually help. Now, I'm going to go to one of those suggestions now, if this will allow me to do so. Looks like it's taking a while to load up, but it looks like it's going to allow it. All right, now, mind you, I don't hate this guy in the least bit. It says, Sean, you can get food stamps, bro. Where are you at now? I typed, I have food stamps, just not enough to live on. I'm in Oregon. He typed, Oregon is very liberal. You should apply for EBT there. I typed, telling me what I should do doesn't help me do it, doesn't give me the resources to do it. And since I already have food stamps, what's the point? Also, do you really think liberal means they will help? Because that has not been my experience. He typed, you might be able to get more food stamps in Oregon than Nebraska. I typed, you obviously have not had to go through disability or the system solo. This is why it is important to know what's going on rather than make suggestions. Are you going to come here and help me get it all set up? Do you have an address here that I can use to apply for resources such as EBT? It is a fine suggestion for a pretty white female with 3 kids and a roof over her head, but I'm not any of those. And he typed, I'm sorry. This guy here typed, he calls himself Exunt Omnes, whatever that means. He typed, psychiatry is just another tool of oppression. That's very true. When you try to turn in a bad cop, one of the things they do is take you to a nut hatch and tell the people at the nut hatch that you're crazy. And then the people at the nut hatch don't hear a word you have to say. You simply do not matter as a human being. All they're interested in is shoving drugs down your throat. By the way, I was at the hospital last night. They put drugs in me. They gave me medications for nausea and for vomiting, and they also gave me a Benadryl. The hospital staff here were assholes. I got my new hospital paperwork. I got 2 prescriptions here. One of them is called Sumatrapan or Imitrex. Take 1 tablet by mouth as needed for migraine. And then Ondansetron, Zofran ODT. Take 1 tablet by mouth every 4 hours as needed for nausea. Of course, it don't matter. I don't have any money to go pick up those prescriptions. And besides that, the reason I get migraines is because I'm overstressed and I'm stuck in a fucking shitty situation for 5 goddamn years. 6 goddamn years. 6 goddamn years of trying to get a fucking steady and safe environment for myself and my fucking evidence so I can actually work on it. A lot of people were okay with helping me until I ran out of money. And then they did some pretty horrible shit. Now, they were witnesses. Tabitha Michelle Cook is a witness. Her boyfriend is a witness. Lots of people are witnesses. People want to just focus on Natalie. Just Natalie. Only Natalie matters. I'm not human enough to care about. I'm not human enough to do something for. Then I get people like Stephanie Mejia, who is kind of sort of gung-ho. Well, until she ran into Ventus's penis. And then, of course, that was pretty much everything that she focused on. Ventus's penis, Ventus's drugs, Ventus's alcohol. So I got all these recordings that are hours and hours long from Ventus's house, and the music is ghetto blasting. It's fucking loud. And of course, Stephanie Mejia is in those videos doing drugs, doing whatever. And you get to hear Ventus with his control methods. Every man is trying to control horror, except for him. That's the fucking jazz that he sold. Well, that's fucking horse shit. Ventus still has a thing for his ex, Beatrice. I got a phone call recorded with her and him. I happen to be in the room and recording, and yeah, I've got it recorded where he's telling Beatrice about how he got molested on a New Year's party. And she basically just blew him off. Now, I should go back to the Rob Gavagan situation. You know how I found out about Rob Gavagan? I had people getting a hold of me on fucking Facebook to threaten to kill me and my family again. That happens often. I can tell usually when somebody makes a new Natalie Bollinger thing because I get a new influx of nut jobs threatening to kill me over fucking lies. And Rob Gavagan, just like everybody else, wants to sell those same goddamn lies instead of look at evidence. What a fucking piece of shit. Well, one of those cigarettes I rolled into this was a menthol. I can taste it. A lot of people will talk nice to you. That don't mean that they're good people. Good manners doesn't mean a good person. Matter of fact, if you don't curse, I don't trust you. The reason I don't trust you is because you try to stick to society's norms. And the fact is, that means that you care about what other people think enough to do absolutely nothing. If you're going to do absolutely nothing, you're fucking useless. You're useless in your own life. Don't offer to help people if you're fucking too useless to fucking. Oh my God. Don't offer to help if you're not going to. Don't make a fake fucking profile like Daniel Apathy. If you can't come forward and can't tell the truth, you're a fucking waste of space. No matter how much you help, if you're not speaking out, you're not fucking helping. There are a lot of people who were dead because I was not heard. A lot of high profile cases involved my exact predators by name. A lot of these people who have been killed were killed by things that were done to me, but I get treated like I'm crazy for saying it. Now you go to a therapist and you tell them that you were abused by the cops, or you go to a hospital and tell them you were abused by the cops, you automatically get treated like you're crazy. Like cops would never do these things. Don't be a fucking moron.